episode 547. Thank you all for listening to episode 546, A Hunting Trip with Jake. I am Gray, here with my co-host.
Your recording button's right there.
Parrot?
You got to throw a little bit of the stuff that people don't hear before this in there.
Yeah, you
Confuse me a
have
little
to.
bit.
You confused Parrot. He didn't even know what was going on. Look at it. Hold on. Parrot, stand next to your fridge. Look
Yeah,
how tall this motherfucker is.
yeah. Or,
Like,
I mean,
can you
yeah.
see over it?
Yeah, my shoulders are at the top of the fridge.
If he ever, he said if he ever wants to piss Bree off, he can just put something up there and say, good luck.
Yeah, good luck. Well, look at him. He almost hits the top of his fucking door jamb. Like, you can just see that as he comes through. I see his iPad trying to follow him. It's like, where's the bird?
It's a
Oh,
good
there
thing.
he is.
It's a good thing his wings stay in, or he'd never be able to make it through that door.
Absolutely not.
So, first off, before we thank sponsors, we got to give one big thank you out to the Parrot. The Parrot, like a man, drove his ass all the way from Columbus. First off, he drove from Weston to Columbus, helped my mom out. Some shit happened there. Took the U-Haul, drove it all the way to Florida, straight through the night. Got there the next morning, and just a fucking stud. He was there a day early.
My uncle.
Yeah, fucking stud.
Played on a Part 61 course. That was interesting.
Never even heard of that before. That's weird.
Mind you, with zero sleep. Zero. After driving for fucking ever.
In the worst wind I've ever driven in with a big ass box.
Yeah.
Yeah, the weather has been shit this last week.
So he just drove that shit and did what he had to do. Got my mom down there, got her unloaded. She's all moved down to Florida. Thanks to the Parrot for getting that done. Appreciate it. And then of course I had to represent the hoodie today. Life's too short to bet the under. And I was wearing this on Saturday night, so I was out with Shiv and B and Jason from the Grown Ups, and then we met a few people. One that I went to school with. I'm gonna have to mute this for a minute or stop the recording so I can just say the name to Bear. So anyway, when I'm with these people, and Bear doesn't know them anyway, so I don't like to name drop on the show without, their consent or permission. And so we're out there and she's like, "Is that a Barstool hoodie?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "That's kind of douchey, isn't it?" I'm like, this is one of the best fucking hoodies. I'm not saying I'm a Barstool guy. I said, "You got something against Portnoy outside of that he's an asshole, but I love him." She's like, "No." So I was like, "Fucking hoodie's sweet. What you talking about? Life's too short. Don't bet the under." Because remember, if you bet the over, you're always in the game.
That is true. That is 100% a fact. 100% a fact.
Fact.
Let me see what I got for overs tonight. I need 5 more points in the Citadel and UNC Greensboro game. They have 8 minutes left.
Nice.
I need 8 more points in the Kentucky Mississippi State game. They have 4 minutes left. I'm off to a decent start in the Louisiana Lafayette Texas State game. Right now they got 70 and the first half is almost over. The over under on that's 135.5, so trending in the right direction. And
do you ever bet the unders?
Those are my overs. Yeah, so I got and we can name drop this all day. So I subscribed because there was a special. I got an email for VSIN, which is the Vegas Sports Insider Network, pretty much the one Brent Musburger started out in Vegas. Yep. So they sent me an email and said, we see that you subscribe. We got a holiday special, $79, all content until May. I think like May 1st, maybe, or something. So, I mean, you're getting a lot of content, right? I'm getting 5 months worth of content, including March Madness, the Masters, all that stuff. And they do everything. UFC, they got PGA, they got tennis. I'm smashing Australian Open bets. They're 4-0 in the last 2 days.
Damn.
But yeah, so I have been subscribing to them, and they have an awesome like NBA prop thing that shows over-unders, the last, it shows all games, but the last 7 games, last 15 games, all that shit. So subscribe to them. $79. Technically, I split it with somebody else. Actually, one of the dudes from our NASCAR and football league, because he's like, "Well, I'll try it. I want in." He goes, "I'll pay you half of it." I was like, "All right, cool." So we both get in and we share it. We are both up over, I think, and it's been now. This is week 3, so it's been 2.5 weeks really. We're both up over $125 in 2.5 weeks. So already have tripled, almost quadrupled the money that we both put in for it. So
Well, shit, I would I
yeah,
should get I
love it.
need to get in on that at some point. Maybe the next go around you have to tell me because I like betting I play big bets, $100 or more a shot.
And these guys, so these guys put in, they have articles for their best bets every day. So normally for NBA, NCAA, they got 2 or 3 bets every day. And most of the time, if they got 3 bets, they are 3-0 or 2-1. Yesterday, yesterday was the worst day they had. And I think overall, like for all the bets, they were like 4-10 on their best bets. Like
Oh,
worst
wow.
day they've had. Every day has been over. So yesterday was just bad in general. And on top of it, I was a dumbass and I was parlaying and not doing singles. Normally, when I get those, I'll single all their bets and then I'll parlay a little bit lighter. So let's just say if there's 3 bets, I'll put $10 on each single, no matter what. I'll put $10 on each single, and then I'll put like $5 on a parlay. Or if I'm not feeling it, I'll do like 250 or some shit. But I mean, every time does not fail. So I'm liking what they do. Their content is great. Their articles are great, and they also have analyzers, which I love because I can look at all the numbers and kind of play that game, which is what I like to do with my boosts, which is what I'm doing tonight. So the boost I did for tonight, based off of what they had, was Jaden Ivey points, rebounds, assists over 25, already hit. Jalen Duran double double. He needs one more rebound in the whole fourth quarter. Jalen Suggs over or 10 points or more, which he's got 7 at halftime. And Trey Young, 8 assists or more, and he's got 6 at halftime. So these trend out well. You can get them into bets and all that. Yeah, make you money quick. So after May, when I have to go in, because we're already like, yeah, we're just gonna put in and buy for the rest of the year if it keeps up, and I can't imagine it's gonna go south. I'll let you know, and we'll split it 3 ways and just share passwords and win even more motherfucking money.
I love it. The uh But before we continue on, we'll thanks people real quick. Thanks to Wes Anderson for moments time. Check him out on Facebook, Wes Anderson Music. Give him a follow on X and Instagram at Songs by Wes. Thank you to All Wear Clothing. Visit allwearclothing.com. Mention Overline Podcast, and Brandon will hook you up with that deal. I still have merchandise I need to send out. I just have not had the time to go to the post office because it is closed when I need to go to work and when I get home. So I'm going to try to send it out Saturday. I will let you know when, so you can let the man from Idaho that beat us know that it is on its way.
Last time it took us, I'm pretty sure 4 months. So we are going to be well under that. So we're
Yeah, yeah.
making good time.
So we apologize now if you listen to us. And if you don't, great, you didn't hear this. So thank you. Thank you to Crandall's Quality Landscape, and give Sean a call, 419-704-5471. Serves the Toledo and surrounding areas and not.
Gary, Indiana.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you to Sparty Steve. And he does some things outside of here for me and for the business. We can't get into it because then it'd be soliciting, and he doesn't want to do that. But thank you to Sparty Steve for everything he does. Thank you to Paper Denim Art. Go to Facebook, check out Paper Denim Art. Mention to Danny what you would like. She will do anything. She can do self-portraits, family portraits. I have a couple from her of my family. You can get a Frank Reynolds like we got on the wall here. You can get a Taylor Swift like I got coming. You can get a Travis Kelce, Jason Kelce. We'll get into him. We're going to do a lot of stuff today. You can get an AW Diet Root Beer bottle. She'll do that for you. A Bush hat, bear in a Bush hat, whatever you want. She can do that for you. If you want, if I'll tell you what, if you are somebody that I don't know and you listen to this show and you tell us that you would like a picture of Bear in a Bush hat, I will get that made for you.
Did
So,
you say a picture of Bear with his bush? What'd you say?
yeah, exactly. Bear with
either,
Bush in a Bush
either
hat.
or.
Yeah, either or. And because I know that Bush hat's not going to be a Ross Chastain hat, which I'm going to have to get me one now for next year because that's the man. And, thank you to Danny, Paper Denim Art, Facebook. Thank you to Gray Key Merch. Reach out to us, graykeymerch at gmail.com for all of your festival, not carnival, festival and concert needs. But we may send Parrot to a carnival. He may run a carnival for you. He can be a carny. Look at him.
Oh,
He's
you
like a giant clown. You
definitely
imagine you in clown shoes? Is
he's
Parrot even listening?
he's on mute. He looks
He
he's
can't
still
even hear
muted.
us. He's
He's
on mute.
muted.
He doesn't
He's
even know.
muted. He's muted.
He doesn't even know what's going on.
He's letting a dog lick him. We don't know what
I
exactly.
don't know where because it looks like it's at his nuts.
It's actually on my chest.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Crumbs all over my
There's
chest.
Parrot. He's back.
there he is.
I just had nothing to say to that insane comment.
Yeah, you as a carny in clown shoes would be
No
great.
thanks. Nope.
You would be terrifying. Could you imagine if we dressed you up as it? You would terrify children.
Probably.
It would be awesome. But thank you, Parrot. Thank you to also who else we got? Connell Barrett.
Yeah.
That's it. Datingtransformation.com.
Yeah, make sure you get over to datingtransformation.com and get that free consultation when you mention Over the Line podcast. And in the meantime, make sure you get to amazon.com and buy Connell's book, Dating Sucks, but you don't.
So, hey Bear, what was the burrito you always told me to get from Taco Bell?
The beefy melt or the Fritos one?
No, I always had those. There was a chicken one you
the
always.
chicken enchilada.
Yeah, I had that the other day again. So good.
Oh my,
I,
but
I
enchilada sauce
well
just hits the spot.
because they just added that to their new like not dollar menu but value menu.
Yeah.
The chicken enchilada burrito, so good. I got that. I got the double stack taco, the stacker. Double stack taco was okay. It had, the meat. It's like a double decker taco, but instead of refried beans, it had cheese, like the queso cheese between the shells.
Okay.
And then it had the like torn up fire chips in them or just, whatever inside the taco. It was all right. Had a cheesy double beef burrito that was pretty good. And then the stacker. I think the stacker was probably the best of the new three that I had.
Yep.
The stacker was good. It was like all pressed, looked like a quesadilla kind of was stacked and it had the meat and cheese and all the good stuff. So check that out. It was melted cheese, seasoned beef, nacho cheese, stacked in a grilled flour tortilla. It was good stuff. And then, but of course, that chicken enchilada burrito, I had that. I'm like, man, that enchilada sauce, like you said, so damn good.
I don't know what it is about that enchilada sauce, but man, it is delicious.
It is delicious. So thank you to Taco Bell, one of the unofficial sponsors of today's episode.
I would assume delicious and nutritious.
Yes, absolutely. I would agree with you there, Bear. So before we get into our picks this week, let's talk about just things going on in the NFL. We'll tell you what happened. Well, I guess we could go into what happened this past week. Wild card weekend. It was a wild card weekend. Dub went 5-1. He had the best weekend of all of us. Parrot and Cody were 4-2, and Bear and myself were 3-3. I should have known better, and I don't know why I took the Browns. Dude, CJ Stroud is the real fucking deal.
He rolled him, man. I mean,
dude, absolutely fucking rolled them.
Yeah.
The Ravens, and I don't care what anybody says because you'll see when I make my picks this week. That's not going to be no pushover. I know, didn't they play earlier in the year?
They did, yeah. And the Ravens, I think week 1 they played in Baltimore. And obviously the Ravens won. But yeah, I mean,
different Houston team now.
Yeah. And a different Baltimore team too. I mean,
of course. It's gonna be a great game.
Well, and Baltimore, it sounds like they're gonna get Mark Andrews back too, which would be big. So yeah, I mean, that was surprising. Just the domination they put on them.
Yeah, not necessarily the win, the domination.
Yeah. And Flacco with 2 pick sixes, it sucks, but dude balled out all year, got them to where they were. So yeah, it sucks to see, but it happens. I mean, it is what
Sean wouldn't have got him
there. No, they made a huge mistake getting rid of Baker, as we'll talk about here.
In about 5 more games, we're going to talk about that. The Chefs beat the Dolphins in a wild 4th coldest game in NFL history. I mean, it was so damn cold. I was listening to New Heights podcast and just Travis talking about that, how cold it was. He's like, we had one of the players, double socks, put the hand warmers in his cleats, and it left golf-sized blisters on his cleats and his feet. And said, you can see how cold it was. Look at fucking Mahomes' helmet.
Yeah.
What happened to that?
Broke when he took a hit. That was crazy. I've never seen that before, ever.
But with that being said, it didn't affect the Chiefs one bit. It really didn't. Mahomes threw for 262. What is it? Rice had 8 catches, 135. He was balling out. That's the guy they need. They need a guy that can catch the ball other than Travis Kelce, and they may have found their guy. And where did he play college at?
I don't know. I want to say LSU for some reason, but I don't feel like that's correct.
Let's see, SMU.
SMU. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that was that was crazy.
Yeah,
Absolutely crazy. I mean, he finally caught something, I should say. Finally caught something. Even Kelsey dropped what, 3 or 4 balls, I think.
yeah. I mean,
So
their hands were so goddamn cold, couldn't feel them.
yeah. And I it's just one of those things where you gotta have you're gonna have games like that. And I know people are bitching and moaning about, oh well, they should have postponed the game. Well, guess what? It's literally 0 in Kansas City till next Thursday, or till, yeah, next Thursday. So what are you gonna do? You can't play football.
Yep. And the uh, the other thing there, so Patrick Mahomes is now the all-time leading rusher in the playoffs for the Chiefs.
That's wild.
Yeah, wild. I heard that on New Heights,
That's a good
and
stat.
that was like, and they said he's like, oh, I thought Damian would have been up there. He's like, oh, we only had him for 2 runs in the playoffs. I'm like, that's a wild stat because he had, what did he have? 41 yards on 2 carries. I know of
Hmm.
for sure, but Kansas City. We're gonna get into this coming week. Fun games coming up this week, but the Bills and Steelers. So I bet on 3 games this weekend. I was 3-0. I bet on this one, Bills -10, and it paid out. And for a minute, I got a little worried when the Steelers were putting points up, but they did what they do, and there was all this concern that Mike Tomlin he was gonna sit out a year or do whatever or leave, but he's obviously coming back.
Yeah.
It was announced.
Announced he was coming back. Yeah. And yeah, the Bills, I mean, they're just the better team here, and we knew that was going to happen. It's kind of played out how it was. The running game did some stuff. They caught a lucky pass to Deontay Johnson, which scored. Other than that, it wouldn't happen. Bills kind of do Bills things, and for whatever reason, just, I don't know. It's like they let up on the gas and then they come back and do what they need to do. So, yeah, Bills, they look good, man. They look good. It's crazy to think that they were the number 10 team week 13 in the AFC, and they ended up the 2 seed. Funny how that
Right.
works.
Getting hot. And speaking of hot teams, also, I know we haven't talked about him, but the Packers just went into Dallas and fucking steamrolled them. They wanted the ball. They got it. They went down and scored. They scored what, six touchdowns in their first 7 possessions.
Yeah.
Just had the defense looking awful. Like Dan Quinn, just like, yeah, I know he's going to be a head coach somewhere else. There's teams interested, but there it's like they shit the bed. It's like he didn't give a fuck because he knew he was going to get a coaching job. But Jordan Love, never gave him enough, no credit really at the beginning of the year because we didn't know. I said, I was waiting for him to see, and I thought he'd be all right. I didn't think he'd be this good. He's been what? He was second in the league in passing touchdowns this year behind Dak, I believe. And for the past several weeks, he's led the league. And he's just been on point. And he's doing it. It's what Green Bay always does. They find a guy, they don't have any receivers or guys that nobody really knows, and they turn these guys into fucking studs. Now, granted, they have Christian Watson, but Dobbs, Romeo Dobbs balled out. Those guys were balling out, man. And he uses, and what I like about Jordan, and that I think he understands and needs to get credit for, is he's utilized both of those rookie tight ends like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm not as sold as you are on him. I think I mean, don't get me wrong, he's probably the hottest quarterback right now in the NFL, no doubt about it. But that, I mean, he was throwing against zone all day and Dallas couldn't get home. I mean, you're an NFL quarterback. You should be able to throw those balls. I mean, look at every single one. How many contested balls did he throw?
He didn't have to throw many at all.
Exactly, because everyone was wide the fuck open.
Right.
So you watch the games when he gets pressure on him and he's there, dude crumbles like nothing. And
And
Dallas couldn't
we got to give
Dallas
credit
couldn't
to
do
his
that.
line. That line fucking held up on Dallas. I mean, it was embarrassing.
I mean, I agree that Green Bay's offensive line played well.
But we didn't rush much at all.
No,
But
we played Dallas. Dallas played zone. It was absolutely embarrassing. You play man to man all year. You rush 5 or 6 at times, and they just were terrible. It made zero sense. I mean, I know that we're getting to the Bucks here in a minute, but if you watch the Bucks defense,
that
dude,
was insane.
Todd Bowles blitzed every fucking
Dude,
play, and the
he
Eagles couldn't stop it.
they couldn't and
Dallas should have done the exact same thing and played man to man. They would have put pressure on Love. And that's what the Niners are going to do. You're going to watch. It's exactly what San Francisco is going to do this week. They're not going to let Jordan Love sit back there while they play zone or put 8 out there. No. The 49ers are going to blitz him and make him throw a ball, and you're going to watch. He's going to crumble. Everyone thinks that they're this hot team, and don't get me wrong, I want Green Bay to win. I'd love if Green Bay beat San Francisco, hands down. They're not even going to come close, and it's all going to be because they're going to play better defense. Simple as that. And again, the whole NFC gets lucky because Mike McCarthy is staying head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. So again, Dallas is going to go 12-5 in the regular season, losing the first round, and then maybe next year.
And then there will be no fucking coaches available.
Oh yeah,
So maybe
absolutely.
Tomlin.
Absolutely. They're Dallas just blew it. I think that Vrabel would have been good there. I'm happy though. Half of me is happy because I think Bill Belichick would have been terrible. I don't care what people say. Belichick hasn't done jack fuck without Tom Brady. I don't care what everybody says.
But this would be the best team that he's ever had too. Outside of the year with Brady and Moss and all of that.
It doesn't mean much to me. I still don't believe in him.
Yeah, 71 years old. Like,
I mean, we'll see. Don't get me wrong. He goes to Atlanta. We'll see what he can do with someone outside of New England. But yeah, I mean, I wasn't on that hype train. So I don't know. Don't get me wrong. I'd rather have Bill Belichick than fucking Mike McCarthy. But if Dallas had Bill Belichick, you imagine the bullshit hype that they would have had next year. I mean, they just would have had a whole bunch of bullshit hype. It's exactly what it would have been. So I have no interest. I really don't give a shit. I'm happy that the Cowboy season's over. Fuck them. I'm done until September. And honestly, after that, after next year, I don't know. I think I might stop caring about teams and just start handicapping bets because if I keep watching the same bullshit, I mean, this is literally the definition of insanity. It's doing the same thing without changing results. This is it. This is what Dallas does. So, only thing that's going to happen is McCarthy gets fired or Jerry Jones dies. It'll be the only way they'll be the only way Dallas is going to do anything. And you're going to waste everybody's prime. You're going to waste a Dak prime, a CD prime, a Micah Parsons prime, because you're going to have some fat fuck who's a yes man that wins you 12 games in the regular season and then gets blown the fuck out at home in the playoffs. Yeah, that's exactly what I want. The only reason why fat fuck Mike McCarthy won a Super Bowl is because Aaron Rodgers had the best goddamn career, the best year of his career, and they had one competent defense.
Yep, and it's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out. But just for Jordan Love, I also hope they win. The dude in the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games has thrown one pick, and 7, 9, 11 plus 8, 19 touchdowns.
Yep. And if you go back though, they also had the easiest schedule down the stretch.
Let's see. They beat the Lions, or they played the Lions yet. Well,
the Thanksgiving Day game was the one that turned everything around.
Yep. Chargers the week before, he had 2 tutties, 322 yards passing. Then he had Lions, Chiefs, and those are tough games. Giants, not really. Bucks,
and remember, they beat Kansas City because they missed a pass interference call at the end of that game on Valdez Scantling, or they would have lost.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying, dude's balling out regardless.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I get
Chiefs
it.
D is a good D.
No, it's not. No, it's not. They got roasted at the end of the year. They lost to fucking the Raiders. They almost lost to the Chargers. They ain't that good.
Didn't they have the number 1 D this year?
So did the Eagles for the first 11 weeks. Look how that turned out for them. Dallas was 16-0 at home. Look how that turned out for them. Shit, that don't mean shit.
Yeah.
Don't mean shit. And what'd they score that game? 20?
Who?
Green Bay.
Oh, I have no idea. Let's see. What was the next game? Oh, Lions and Rams. This is one I bet on.
The best game of the playoff. Best game of the playoffs.
Another one I bet on. Rams +3. Thank you to the late field goal. Lions won. Great, good for them. And we'll get into who they're going to lose to this next week. The Buccaneers, just as you said, dude, that defense, just watching the different things they did, dropping back the defensive lineman to the linebacker and just confusing the fuck out of all of them.
Well, yeah, because it's fucking Matt Patricia. Jesus Christ. I mean, that's the easiest person in the world to confuse. They could have let Parrot be offensive coordinator and they could have confused the fuck out of Matt Patricia. I mean, God damn. Dub today trying to say Belichick going to Philly would be good because they got Matt Patricia. Are you kidding me? Ever since he left Belichick, he hasn't done fuck. He ruined Detroit for 3 years, and then he hasn't done shit in the NFL since. And he thinks he's going to be good because he gets Belichick back. I don't
No,
think so.
but the Bucks look good. Beat the shit out of him. Baker,
It
the
did.
man. Baker, the fucking man. The dog, doing what he does best.
This is the only thing that worries me about Baker is that he doesn't usually put two good games in a row together. And you knew it was coming because he had a shit game against Carolina to get to the playoffs. But man, I didn't expect
Dude's
that. He
dude's
looked
playing
really
with a
good.
chip. He's
I
playing with
mean,
a chip.
he would have had four more completions if guys would catch the damn ball. He was throwing dimes all night.
Yep, I agree with you. So
Every ball was on a receiver's hands all night. It was
so
insane.
this week we got game one, Texans and Ravens, and the Texans are 8-point dogs in this game.
Yeah, I mean, I love 8 points for the Texans. I'll probably bump it to 10.5, honestly, just because I like those numbers. Um, but I'm taking the Ravens at home. They're the team I picked to win the Super Bowl. I'm not picking against them now. So, but they're another team who also chokes in the first round. So, and this is their first round. I know it's not the first round, it is their first round. So they got to get over that hump too. They haven't done anything in 12 years. So they got to get there, and beating a tough Houston team would be a huge confidence booster for them. And they get Mark Andrews back this week.
I would definitely take the 8 points. But this not because I don't give a shit. My team's out of it. I don't give a fuck anymore. So I'm going with what I want. So I want the Texans to win, and they're gonna. So give me the Texans. I'm riding Stroud, man. I want him to be that Cinderella story. Him and Coach to fucking just run it. Like that's who I want to win now. I would love them to win. That would be fucking amazing. That story would be great.
They can do that next year. I don't have a future on them. I got a future on the Ravens to win $1,000, so they can do that next year. I think the big problem in this game is just going to be the Texans defense. I think they're going to get stymied by Lamar, and they got to stop him running the ball. And I think that's just going to be tough for them. They've struggled against running quarterbacks this
Hey,
year. So
check that out. One of my over bets paid. Me and old Robbie in the lobby went in on it for 1,000, and it paid. T Wolves and Pistons already over
boom.
223.5, and they're already at 232 with 2 minutes left.
Parrot.
Winner, winner.
Winner, parrot dinner.
Give me Baltimore to win, but I like Houston the points.
All right. Your Saturday night game, Packers at 49ers. What's that? 10, I think, last I saw.
Yeah, I'll pull that up right now.
I think
I
it
believe
was
it was 10.
10.
I got you right now. It is 9.5.
9.5 now. Okay. I would buy that point for sure. Just to get me to 10.5. It's a cheap buy, but Parrot Packers 49ers.
Give me the Niners at home.
The Niners are obviously the better team. But again, I'm going with what I want. And I'm going to ride the hot hand, Jordan Love. I agree with you, Bear, that he could get stymied, but we'll see. And I'm going to go with the Packers because fuck the 49ers.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'd love to see the Packers win, and I'll probably take them. I don't know, actually. I'll probably jump down the Niners line to 6.5 just because I do think that they're much better of a team and they're going to come out. But I think they come out a little rusty, and Green Bay keeps it close in the second half. But I think McCaffrey and Debo are just going to be way too much. Remember, everyone's got to remember that Packers defense fucking sucks. They are
They do.
not good. They're not good.
They're not good at all. And
And
hopefully,
Jordan Love's not going to be able to overcome that against a good team like San Francisco, not against a fucking pretender like Dallas. So
well, and I don't think Brock Purdy's that good. I think he's a system quarterback, but because you put him anywhere else, I don't think he does it shit.
yeah,
And like you put him on Dallas, he ain't doing shit. But again, that defense is not that great. But once they run up against the defense that knows what, like if they play the Bucks, let's say the Bucks win, that's not going to be easy for them. Niners Bucks. On
no.
paper, it looks like it's easy for the Niners, but if they do what they just did, the Bucks to the Eagles, and confuse the fuck. Now granted, they're going to have plenty of time to figure that out, but can Purdy on a week to week basis remember that shit? We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I think, in all honesty, I think if the Niners win this game, they're going to have no problem beating the Lions or the Bucks. I really don't think so. And I'm happy to see what the Lions are doing, and it's good to see Baker doing well with the Bucks. But neither of those teams just stack up, and they both have to go on the road all the way to San Francisco. I just don't see it. If you never know, Packers could go in there and win. If the Niners do win, though, it's gonna be tough for one of those two teams. It
Yep.
just I think it is. Um, so yeah, but hopefully it's a good. Hopefully we get some good games because again, I mean, you got to think wild card weekend. We literally only got one good game, and that was Lions Rams. Everything else was a fucking blowout. Every other game was a blowout. Sunday early game, Bucks at Lions. Fucking Lions or dicks made the Red Wings move their game back. They had a 3 o'clock game on Sunday. They got pushed back to 7 because the Lions ended up winning. Well, I should say because the Cowboys ended up losing. Let's put it that way. Because if the Cowboys won, the Lions would be in Dallas. But I'm gonna go Lions here. And don't get me wrong, I love Baker, and I think that they're gonna have a really good shot. I think they're gonna have to open up with Mike Evans big time. I think Mike Evans is gonna have a big game. But I think that the Lions are just gonna kind of think they're just gonna run over them with Gibbs and Montgomery. I think that's gonna be the answer here against the Bucks. But I think it's gonna be a good game. What's the spread on this one? 6.5.
6.5. Yep.
I think I'd probably buy Tampa to 7.5 on that
And
one.
over unders 48.5. I like that over.
Yeah, yeah.
The um we'll see what they do with Goof. If they can get him to make mistakes, it's a Bucks win. Again, I'm going with what I want to see. I'm going with the Bucks. I'm going to ride Baker because fuck the Browns.
I already put them in for you because I knew that's what you were going to
Yep.
do. Parrot.
I'm gonna go the Lions here. I'm gonna ride this little train they got at least one more week.
Now, in all seriousness, everybody, if I was like putting money on these games, I'd probably go the same route that these guys both went. But I would definitely
Well,
take the
for
points.
money line.
Yeah, for money line, I would definitely go the way you guys did. Points, I'm going the way I went.
Yeah.
But yeah,
All right. And the late game on Sunday, gonna be a banger. Feels like we get this every year. Chiefs, but it's not Bills at Chiefs. It's Chiefs at Bills. New
only the second game, or this is the first away game.
Or,
First away game
Yep.
for Patrick Mahomes.
first
That
away.
is unbelievable.
in 7 years.
Unfucking believable.
First away game. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. So Parrot, Chiefs and Bills.
I'm going with the home team here. I think this is the year that Allen knocks Mr. Patrick Mahomes out of the playoffs.
I love Josh Allen and the Bills. I do. Talked about him the last few years, and I wanted him to win. I think I had Cowboys over Bills in the Super Bowl last year. But go back to that square. But I am not betting against Patrick Mahomes. And I've said this before. As long as that dude's there, I'm not betting against him. Like, I'm just not. I know they were kind of shit this year, but so were the Bills. And I think that in the clutch, Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, and sorry, I was reading out you and Cody. I didn't realize that you both had the Eagles winning the Super Bowl, so got those off the books. So Dub and I are the only ones alive, even though we all had the Eagles besides Parrot in the Super Bowl. Dub and I still have our playoff our teams alive. Dub has Bills over Eagles. I got Ravens over Eagles. So both of those could be done this week. We could still be alive this week. While I do agree, Mahomes, this, that, blah, blah. The Bills have almost beaten the Chiefs in Kansas City the last two times they're in the playoffs. The last time was the infamous game where Mahomes or Allen didn't get the ball, changed the overtime rules. So yeah, this is going to be big, dude. Bills fans are going to be crazy. It's going to be a rocking house Sunday night in Buffalo. It's going to be cold. It's going to be windy, and I think cold and windy, the quarterback who can run better is going to win this game, and I think it's going to be Josh Allen. I can't trust the Chiefs receivers. I just can't. I know Rice had a good game, and I'm happy someone's coming on for them, but I just don't think it's going to be enough. So I'm going to go Bills at home.
And whoever wins this game, I don't give a shit. I at that point, I really hope if it comes down to it, I really would love to see the Bills and Texans. Um, if it came down to it, and then like the Bucks and Packers, I wouldn't mind that because then I'd be pulling for the AFC regardless. Because Bucks have a ring recently, Packers, Niners all do. I would love to see the Bills finally get a goddamn ring. That would be amazing. Or the Ravens, whatever. But the Texans, I told you, Texans, that story is just unbelievable.
Pretty much for me right now, I would any team that's not the Packers, Niners, or Chiefs, I would love to see in the Super Bowl. I think that'd be great. Even the Lions, and they deserve it, man. They just
Oh,
do.
if the line, dude, I would hope for like a Lions Bills, Lions Texans. I'd
I'm,
be
I'm,
fine with it.
I think Lions Bills would be awesome.
That'd
Lions
be
Bills would
fucking
probably be my
amazing.
favorite, just because you're finally
No
getting a
Super
team
Bowl.
that's going to win a Super Bowl.
Exactly. Guaranteed.
That's what I
And that
like.
would be the same with the Texans, right? They don't have a Super Bowl.
Correct, they don't. I think the Texans are going to be there. I just don't
Oh,
think.
they're
Yeah.
going to be there for several years. You get some more guys around fucking homeboy, man,
Yeah.
around Stroud.
I mean,
Unbelievable.
at the end of the day, out of the three teams I don't want to see in it, one of them's getting eliminated no matter what. So I'll only have two teams to root against. Now, problem is the Niners are probably the best team in the NFL, and again, I see them making the Super Bowl and hopefully playing the Ravens, who I think are the best team in
They
the
would
NFC.
steamroll
That's
them
what we get.
again.
God, I hope so. God, I hope so. I mean, again, you think of things, Harbaugh. Is it going to be an all Harbaugh football championship sort of year? We're going to see.
Yeah, it's
We're
valid.
going to see. So,
Big
yeah,
celebration in that house.
big time, big time fun. Going to be a lot of good games this weekend. So excited for the NFL. Um, and yeah, I think that's really it. I think that we kind of covered. No other coaches got fired. No other coaches got hired. So we're pretty much at a stagnant until next week. Right now, nothing's really changed.
You think Belichick goes to the Falcons?
I do. I definitely do. I also think Detroit's offensive coordinator Ben Johnson is going to go somewhere, which is why you're not going to see a lot of coaches go places because a lot of the coaches people want are assistants and coordinators on the teams that are still playing. So, I think that I can see a couple of these guys go for sure to other places and become coaches. But yeah, I see Belichick being a Falcon for sure. I don't think Sirianni's going to get fired, honestly. Just like McCarthy, I think the Eagles are pussies too and won't pull the trigger on it. So we'll see. But I do think AJ Brown's going to be gone for sure. And Jason Kelsey, who retired.
Yeah. And he said on his podcast he didn't want it to be leaked like that, his conversation, so he'll officially do it at some point.
Oh, yeah, he is. Yeah, fucking Adam Schefter. Getting a bad rap.
He's
Getting a
also
bad
the one
rap.
that broke Mike McCarthy.
Yep. Old Shefty he just doesn't know when to not get the news, does he?
Nope, he's doing what he's paid to do.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Piss him off or don't piss him off, doesn't matter.
Fuck Schefter. He's a skis. He's a skis. All right, let's hit up golf. Last week, Sony Open at the Wailea Country Club. Grayson Murray ended up winning first time in 5 years or something like that. Has had a lot of demons and been in rehab and all this stuff. Good, good to see him back. I'm happy to see him doing that. I had mixed feelings on him because he's kind of a dick on Twitter when you see it, but the addiction stuff he went through and he's just trying to get better. His wife was there supporting him. She supported him the whole way through. So it's a good story. He ended up winning in a three-way playoff on the first playoff hole by sinking a 39-foot birdie putt. Keegan Bradley missed about a 17-foot birdie putt to extend, and then Byung Hung An actually had a 5-footer for birdie and didn't even touch the hole. It was an embarrassing putt. So they finished second. Henley and Carl Yuan finished fourth. JT Poston sixth. Nick Taylor, Emmanuel Grillo, and Matthew Pavon are tied seven. For us, we had the guy who golfs all the time is the only one that missed the cut like a dumbass. But Ludwig Odberg for Dub got him a 30. Lucas Glover missed the cut because he sucks for me, so I got an 82 there. Chris Kirk got an 18 for Cody and Gray. JT Poston got a 6 for Parrot by firing a 63 on the last day. and Cam Davis got a 30 for Jeremy. So this week we go to the American Express. It is the Pro-Am. So you're getting, celebrities with the golfers. So we're talking 5-6 hour rounds for these guys. Absolutely crazy. You get to play 3 different courses. So it's a 3-day cut. And then obviously after the third day, they cut. Then the fourth day is your cut line. 156 players in this field. Your 3 courses: PGA West, the PGA West Nicholas Tournament course, and La Quinta Country Club. So pretty much the stadium course, I think they're playing again on Sunday. So they'll play that one twice if they make the cut. And I think it is it's the 10th shortest course on tour. So these guys are probably gonna rock some birdies this week, no doubt. Because the other two, I think one's the 6th shortest and the other one's like the 10th or the 9th shortest. So short course this week. Rahm won it last year. He's not going to defend this year, so we'll see. But in the last, I think, 10 years, I'm just looking really fast. Yeah, in the last 10 years, 30-1 or more has won 8 of those 10 years. The only guy that was under that was John Rahm, twice. So that's what you're looking for. Most likely, according to statistics, most likely a guy who is at higher odds is probably going to win this tournament. But looking at stats and everything, Scotty Scheffler dominates every single stat and should roast this course, according to stats. Let me see. Who's going first? Dub's going first. Oh, look at that. Dub first on the board with a net of 22. So he picked Min Woo Lee this week. Second will be Parrot, 25.5. Parrot, who do you got?
Give me Sanjay in this week.
Sanjay for the Parrot. Do we have Jeremy's pick?
We do. He is taking Sung J M.
Also going Sanjay. Okay.
I was also going to go Sung J M because I took him last year, but I'm going to switch routes here, and I'm going to go with Tom Kim.
Tom Kim. Well, I'm gonna ride right along with everything. Sung Jam for me. Had him in there ready to go. He's finished top 20 here the last 6 years, so got to be a guy to throw in. We'll see if Cody gets a pick in. Possible he does, possible he doesn't. If he doesn't, well, he's gonna get the last place person again.
Bet on the he's not.
Or it'll be Friday at like noon. That's when we'll get his pick.
Right. Oh shit. You know what? I just realized that trivia ended for the year and now we got new trivia. So I got to give myself another title. Fuck.
Oh yeah. I gotta redo my sheet.
Man, I got to
Give yourself like a title with an asterisk since, we do this every 15th week of the year. Haven't done one since 12/13.
couple weeks, month. I think I was far enough ahead though, right?
I mean, Jeremy could have put a 50-point question there. You don't know.
Bullshit.
He could have.
True.
It's
All
his
right.
trivia. He can do whatever he wants. This is America.
America. So this week's question. He has won, but is not available later, so he'll let us know now. LeBron James chickened out in playing Utah last week, as he usually does because he has a losing record during his career in Utah. How many teams in the NBA does LeBron have a losing record against on the road? Closest gets 3 points. I know how to find the answer when it's time, as he told me how to find it. But closest gets the points. So how many of the teams does he have a losing record against on the road?
Well, it's at least one.
Oh, yeah, we can do the chat box. I'm good.
I'm good too.
Parrot?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, 3, 2, 1, and go. Fair. Parrot, what's yours? 3. Okay. Um, and I don't know how many points this question. Oh, 3 points. So let me look it up. How I figure it out is what pick in the first round was Horace Grant? NBA draft was Horace Grant. 10th.
All right.
So I guess a point and a half each.
Well, I mean, didn't we both technically get it right?
Yeah, so I guess we both get 3.
Nah,
Um,
I'll give us a point and a half. We'll split.
Sounds good. He said, speaking of the Jazz, they're the hottest team in the NBA right now, which I never would have guessed a month ago. Sad news, though, as Dejan Milojevic, an assistant coach for the Warriors, had a heart attack and passed away.
Mm-hmm.
The game between Utah and Golden State has been postponed because of this. As for the NFL, horrible weekend for all of our teams. Can't remember seeing so many upsets in one weekend for the NFL playoffs. That's all I have this week. Back next week for some Royal Rumble trivia.
Nice.
Royal Rumble's next weekend, isn't it?
Is it?
Might be. If it is, I got to figure out what day it's on. Is it going to be on a Saturday?
I'm assuming
It's on Saturday the 27th. So Barry might have to have a watch party if
Yeah.
you're around.
That is next Saturday. No, I think I'm actually going to a walleye game that night.
Well,
Yeah,
never
that's
mind.
Saturday. Fuck. Yeah, we got walleye tickets that night.
Saturday's the Royal Rumble.
Well, I'll probably be home by the men's rumble.
Watch them open with that shit.
Well, that's fucking disappointing.
You can watch it on your phone.
Nah, I ain't doing that.
Yeah. So Royal Rumble is Saturday the 27th.
So we'll have Royal Rumble picks next week. All right.
Yep, that's coming up, and we got some Royal Rumble trivia.
I like that.
All right. So I think that's all we got in sports outside of we got to do UFC, right?
First pay-per-view of the year.
And what were you last? You were left, so now I'm left.
Yep, I am right this week.
All right.
Yeah,
UFC 297.
Yep, UFC 297 at the Scotiabank in Toronto, Canada.
All right. Speaking of Canada, minus 120 flyweight favorite from Canada, Malcolm Gordon.
And the slight underdog, plus 100 from the United States, Jimmy Flick My Dick.
From women's flyweight, minus 345 favorite from Canada, Jasmine Jazu diverticulitis.
And the big underdog from Brazil, Priscilla Ketchero. I caught some poutine in Canada, row. Got it.
No odds on this next one. Welterweight bout on the early prelims from Canada. Johan Lanez. Hey.
And from England, Sam Patterson.
In the prelims, women's strawweight bout from, guess where? Canada. Minus 192, Jillian Robertson.
And the slight dog from Brazil, plus 160, Poliana Viana.
In a bantamweight bout, no odds on this one yet. From Ukraine, Sergey Zidane.
And from the United States, Razor Ramon Tavares, man.
In a featherweight bout, minus 175 favorite from, you guessed it, Canada, Chuck Jourdain.
And the plus 135 dog from the United States, Sean Darren Woodson.
In a bantamweight bout, minus 192 favorite from Canada, Brad Catone.
And the underdog plus 160 from the United States, Garrett Armfield.
And to the main card, featherweight bout coming in at a plus 140 dog from the United Kingdom, Josh Allen.
Man, he's a number 4 ranked featherweight, and he's a dog. The number 9 ranked featherweight, who is your minus 166 favorite from Madarasha, Mavsar Evlov.
In a middleweight bout, minus 156 from the United States, Chris Curtis.
And from, you guessed it, Canada, a plus 140 underdog, Marc Andre Fleury Ballarute.
Marc-Andre Fleury was on the old Pat McAfee show today. Pat Mc. In a welterweight bout, plus 205 dog from the United States, Neil Magny.
And your favorite from, you guessed it, Canada, minus 250 favorite, Mike Malott.
In a women's bantamweight title bout. So I guess neither one of them have the title right now. Nope.
No.
They're fighting for it. Plus 140 dog from the United States, Raquel Chad Pennington.
And your slight favorite at minus 166 from Brazil, Myra Bueno Silva.
And in your main event of the evening, middleweight title fight, your reigning, defending, undisputed middleweight champion, I almost said heavyweight, minus 130 favorite from the United States, Sean Strickland.
And the number 2 ranked middleweight, plus 110 slight dog from South Africa. It's DDP. Bang. Strikes Duplessis.
I love it. DDP. Just realized that too. Does he go by DDP?
He does now.
I love it. I love it. All right. So that's it for this one. Thanks to Wes Anderson for Moments in Time. Thank you to All Work Clothing, Crandall Squatting Landscaping, Connellberry, DaniTransformation.com, Paper Denimar, Great Key Merch, and Sparty Steve. And as always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Bang.
Go Lions, baby.